So the Rainbow Friends situation on Roblox right now is crazy. It all started back in October with this guy right here, Oreo Musa. You see, he released an entire Twitter thread talking about how the developers of Rainbow Friends actually stole his character. He's claiming that they stole his character of Purple from Rainbow Friends, obviously, and that he is currently on the last leg of a lawsuit with Rainbow Friends over this design, over this character of Purple from Rainbow Friends. Now, I first heard about this actually this morning because this channel right here, Coel, first time I'm seeing them, but they released this video here called The Downfall of Rainbow Friends Lawsuit. It popped up on my For You page, and I was like, what in the world's this? Let me check it out. And oh my God, I watched this whole video like 3 times. And good God, let me tell you, the rabbit hole we're about to go down is insane. Now, real quick, before we dive into this lawsuit, a little bit of context. So as you all know, Rainbow Friends is a very big game. It's currently got almost 14,000 people active and playing on a school day, and also almost 4 billion total visits. And this is despite the last update for the game, Chapter 2, releasing almost a year and a half ago. Literally, there's been no big update for a year and a half. TLDR, Rainbow Friends is one of the biggest games on Roblox, period, ever. And as a result, Rainbow Friends now has official toys. You've probably seen them in stores or on Amazon or in Walmart or Target. Like literally, it's just pages and pages of toys. I'm sure some of these are fake. Some of these are probably ripoffs, but there's a lot of demand for Rainbow Friend toys out there. And the company that handles the toys for Rainbow Friends is actually this one right here, Fat Mojo. And I promise this is going to be relevant. Just stick with me for a second. Now, Fat Mojo does the toys for a lot of Roblox games. Piggy, Blox Fruits, Pet Simulator, Poppy Playtime, and of course, there's Rainbow Friends right there. They're very, very, very popular in this space. In fact, here is, this will be relevant here in a second, okay? But here's the Rainbow Friend toys in question. Let me open this up in a separate tab. Now, we're going to come back to this image here in a second, because let's get back to this Oreo guy and let's get back to the lawsuit, because this is where things get crazy. So this YouTuber here that I talked about before, Cole, he talked to the guy being sued, Oreo, and this is what Oreo says. He says, here's the deal. Back in 2022, when I turned 16, I developed a Friday Night Funkin' mod for my birthday and created my design of Purple. He's talking about the character Purple from Rainbow Friends. You guys know who I'm talking about. This guy right here. Everybody knows who he is, right? That's the Purple. He says, I showed my creation to Roy Stanford. Roy Stanford is the creator of Rainbow Friends, Spider, etc. Someone who I'd worked with previously on a model commission for his game Spider. I even offered to sell it, thinking we had a decent working relationship. Instead of responding, though, he just unfriended me without a word. And months later, they collaborated with Fat Mojo and announced a toy figure set that includes a Purple character strikingly similar to mine without any acknowledgement or compensation. So basically, this guy here, Oreo, this is back in like 2022. In fact, if we zoom in, we can see that these DMs were sent on August 8th. 2022 right there. So a few months after the game originally came out. The game originally released on June 30th, 2022. So yeah, what's that? July, August, so 2 months later. Not even, actually, about a month and a half, because this was the end of June, so about a month and a half later. Essentially, this guy made a fan-made design of Purple and said, hey, man, I'm willing to sell my Purple design to you if you're interested. Now, what did the creators of Rainbow Friends do? Well, they blocked him. They blocked him on Discord. Completely blocked him after he sent this message. Now, Oreo here, he took his design of Purple and he actually made a very popular FNF mod. That FNF mod is called Friday Night Funkin' versus Rainbow Friends. I'm sure you guys have probably seen this before. And here is the design of Purple. In fact, we can actually freeze exactly on the frame here. There it is right there. There's the Purple design. If we go back to the video, I mean, we can see that they're literally, yeah, that's him. That's the guy. So he made this fan-made Purple design. He put it in his FNF mod. FNF mod got really popular. You guys have probably played it. Now, if we fast forward a few months, and by a few months, I believe it's about a year or so, official toys start coming out for Rainbow Friends. Here's one right here. You remember when I said I'd come back to this image? Yeah, we're coming back to this image now, specifically this purpled image. I don't know why he's pink in this picture, but you can see it's clearly the same design. Basically, Oreo is claiming that the developers of Rainbow Friends and Fat Mojo took his purple design and made it into a toy without acknowledging him, crediting him, compensating him, etc. Basically saying that the developers of Rainbow Friends just straight up stole his design, turned it into a toy, and is now making money on his design. The Rainbow Friends developers then copyright striked every single instance of Oreo's fan-made design. Like, literally, they took down every instance of this guy's purple. Like, here's a tweet from July 4th, 2023. It says, "This media has been disabled in response to a report by the copyright owner." So essentially, the Rainbow Friends developers saw this and was like, you know what? We're just going to copyright strike every single time that this guy used his purple fan-made design. So Oreo then sued them. He sued the developers of Rainbow Friends over this, and the developers of Rainbow Friends sued him back. And I read through all of this. There's a lot of legal mumbo jumbo in here, so I'm just going to use ChatGPT to summarize this for you guys. And here is that summary. It says, Brian and Garrett Fletcher, the creators of the popular Roblox game Rainbow Friends, filed a lawsuit in New York against, and here's Oreo's real name here, right? I'm not going to attempt to pronounce that. The Fletchers claim that the defendants illegally copied and profited from their game characters purple and green, violating copyright and trademark laws. The Fletchers argue that they own exclusive rights to Rainbow Friends' designs, which are copyrighted and trademarked, and the game has a strong brand identity. So the Rainbow Friends developers sued Oreo back and said that he is fraudulently claiming that he created the characters purple and green, that he has registered false copyrights and trademarks for these characters, and that Oreo has been selling unauthorized products, plush toys, etc. based on this character. The Rainbow Friends developers are suing him for over $500,000 in damages, along with a bunch of other stuff here. Now, before we dive headfirst into the legal battle here, I just need to say I'm not a lawyer. Okay, just keep that in mind. Creekcraft is not a lawyer. I've not been to lawyer school. But you might be thinking, well, the developers of Rainbow Friends, I mean, they're kind of right? Because if we look at this here, like if you show anybody this picture, they're going to say, oh yeah, that's purple from Rainbow Friends. I mean, the only difference is, you know, maybe the mouth opens like a trash can instead of, you know, like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it's basically purple. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty clear that this design was based on this version of the character. So you might be thinking, well, Oreo's screwed because that's clearly purple. He clearly stole purple from them. Obviously, the developers are right here, but here's where things get interesting. This version of purple, the version where he's a tall, slender humanoid with arms and legs and a neck and a head, that's not actually in the game. The only time we ever see purple in the game, he looks like this in Chapter 1. He looks like this in Chapter 2, and this is his jump scare animation. The only parts of him that we see are his eyes, his hands, and his arms. That is it. The version of purple with, you know, a humanoid body and legs and arms and feet, that's actually entirely fan-made. It comes entirely from fan art. Basically, what happened is Rainbow Friends came out in June of 2022. The game and characters got really, really popular, and fans started drawing purple as a tall, slender humanoid with arms and legs. Again, that's actually not in the game. It doesn't show up in the game not one time. It's entirely fan-made. This version of the character, though, just got so popular that now, if you look up Rainbow Friends or Rainbow Friends Purple, you're going to see him as the tall, slender character. I mean, look at this right here. This video came out 2 years ago. If we click on it here, this video released October 21st, 2022. And here's the character purple. We can see that it's clearly based on fan art of the character, like Oreo's design here. In fact, the first time that purple was ever officially shown as a tall, slender humanoid wasn't until the fall of 2023. I asked ChatGPT here, I said, when did Rainbow Friends merchandise first release? And it says the Fat Mojo minifigure of purple, again, this one right here, featuring a slender humanoid design with elongated limbs, was part of this initial merchandise release. Therefore, the first official depiction of purple with this design appeared in the fall of 2023. Basically, a year after all the fan art started, and a year after Oreo created this version of the character and released his FNF mod. So it's pretty clear, all the legal stuff aside, it's pretty obvious that what happened is Rainbow Friends came out, people started making fan art of the character purpled with a long humanoid body, arms, legs, neck. This version of the character, this depiction of the character got really, really popular online. And the developers and the toy company basically said, yeah, you know what? This is what purpled looks like now. There's absolutely no doubt that they took this design from fan art of the character. Like that's 100% what happened. Allegedly. Throwing that in there so I don't get sued. Allegedly. Allegedly 100% what happened. Allegedly. And so the question now becomes, and this is why I say I'm not a lawyer, the question now becomes, can the developers take fan art of a character, turn that into a toy, more specifically a design of the character that has never been shown in-game or in any official part of, the IP. Can the developers and the toy company take this depiction, take this fan art, and basically make it official without paying the fan artists that originally made the design? Now, again, I'm not a lawyer, but I got curious, so I asked ChatGPT, and keep in mind, ChatGPT is not a lawyer either, so take what this says with a grain of salt. It says, the ability of developers to copyright or trademark a design that originates from fan art and not from the original game involves several nuanced legal considerations. Here's a breakdown. Fan art is typically considered a derivative work of the original copyrighted property, in this case, Rainbow Friends. If the developers did not create the humanoid purple design, but it was derived from fan art, the fan artists may hold some copyright in the unique elements they contributed. However, because fan art is based on the developer's copyrighted work, it's legally complicated for fan artists to claim rights to their creation without permission from the original copyright holder. ChatGPT continues, though, and it says, if the developers adopt the fan-created design into official merchandise, which they did, they may claim ownership over that specific version of the design, especially if the fan artists granted them permission. Without an agreement or licensing, though, using fan art might expose the developers to legal risk if the fan artist objects, which is exactly what happened here. So, again, not a lawyer. I don't really know who's right or wrong here. It's pretty clear that the design of purple, being a tall, slender humanoid with arms and legs, that clearly came from fan art. Again, it's not in the game. Go play Rainbow Friends. It's not in the game at all. That design is entirely from fan artists online. Hey, Editor Creek here. Just want to add in another allegedly. I was watching through the video. Of course, it's entirely possible that the developers have somewhere designs or ideas or sketches of what they planned for purple to look like, later on in the games, and maybe that just so happens to line up with the fan art. It's just obviously it's not in the game, so it's hard to tell. So I can't say, or I shouldn't say 100% that they took it from fan art, because for all I know, they have some sort of file or document somewhere detailing all of this out. So allegedly, don't sue me. One of those fan artists made a version of the character. Here it is right here. He made a mod with it. And now, a year and a half later, actually year and a half, 2 years later, the developers of Rainbow Friends have made that fan art into a toy line. Now, who's right and who's wrong? Again, I'm not a lawyer. I know I keep saying that, but I'm not a lawyer. I do think, however, it does kind of leave a bad taste in my mouth that the developers clearly just took fan art and made it into official toys and are now just making potentially millions of dollars off of a design that's not theirs. Can they legally do that? Maybe. Is it the right thing to do? I probably wouldn't have done that. It's a tricky legal situation with no clear answer. and I'm not a lawyer to answer it. Let me know what you guys think, though, down in the comment section below. Interested to see your guys' opinion. I hope that the situation gets resolved for everyone involved. Again, I'm not a lawyer, so I can't really take sides here. You know what I mean? So let me know what you guys think down below. And if there's any lawyers that watch my videos, there's not. But if there are, I'm curious your opinions down below.